I just passed my CompTIA Network Plus exam. Here's how it went. First of all, why I took the exam. I want to get into cybersecurity, and Network Plus and Security Plus are the most sought after beginner level certificates in the field. I did get my A plus done a few months back as well. Network Plus covers all that you need to know about networks, networking devices, the cloud, ports, and protocols, subnetting, routing, and familiarizes you with all these topics. How I studied. I used a combination of Jason Dion's Udemy course for Network Plus, Professor Messer's YouTube videos, practice tests on ExamCompass, and Jason Dion's practice test papers on Udemy as well. I also used a software called Anki, ANKI, to make flashcards that I used to memorize the port numbers and acronyms. Jason Dion's videos are really helpful when you're learning the content for the first time. It gives you like this bird's eye POV of the entire content, but it's not so friendly when you're trying to revisit the topics to revise. That's because he explains in a way that is easier for you to understand rather than sticking to the exam objectives. So what I did was I would binge through Dion's videos and then attempt the exam compass quizzes and make a note of all the topics I would struggle with and then watch Professor Mess's videos on those topics and I would rewrite the test. I did this back and forth. Write the test, watch Mrs. videos. Write the test, watch Mrs. videos. And I might have watched Mrs. videos probably twice the entire course. For the final week before the exam, I just did Dion's practice papers. He's got two sets of practice papers with six question papers each, with around 90 questions. And I just sat and did all the papers for the final week. So by the time I was ready to write the real exam, I had done over 1,000 questions. Now these papers are fairly easy and don't really compare to the real thing, but it is useful because it helps you find the gaps in knowledge and gets you to fill them out. On the exam day, I had to travel to another town to write the exam because the Pearson VUE testing center in my hometown was really bad. They had these really old systems and was run by, let's just say, not so pleasant people. Now, I could have written it at home, but my internet sucks. It's unreliable. And we also have power outages fairly often. I didn't want to risk getting my exam revoked because, according to CompTIA, if by any technical issue you are not able to write the exam on the test day, you basically don't get a refund or a do over. So I didn't want to risk it. I recommend avoiding travel because it can tire you out and you want to be writing your exam with energy and in a good mood. Why sabotage yourself? The exam itself was harder than the practice exams, and I had more number of PBQs than on average. Now, due to CompTIA's candidate agreement, I can't share any specific exam questions or PBQs. Some tips you can take home: memorize the port numbers, really get good at subnetting. Find one method for subnetting and stick to it. Really make it second nature for you. I personally use the 7-second subnetting method. Once you feel like you've learned everything, go through the exam objectives and see if you can describe everything on there in a few lines. If you can't define something, that's a gap in your knowledge right there. Don't leave any questions unanswered on the paper. Attempt every question during the exam. Uh, Leave the PPQs to the end because they can be time consuming and you don't want to be struggling with not having time to finish your MCQs. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comment section. That's all for today. Thank you.